Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Study Point. In the previous video, we learned about the basics of probability. And in this video, we will learn to solve some examples of it. Let's see an example of an event that is unlikely using something a little more complicated than a coin. Let's take a look at dice. A standard dice has a 6 sides, number 1 to 6. When you roll it, any of those sides is just as likely to come up as the others. That sounds a lot like flipping a coin, doesn't it? Each side of dice is just as likely to come up the other. So you might expect that probability of rolling any side is 50%. But remember, with a coin toss, there were only two possibilities, heads or tails. With a dice, there are the 6 possibilities, and that's going to make a difference in its probability. One way to think about is that it's certain that one of those 6 sides will laid facing upwards, which is a probability of 1 or 100%. But since only one side can face upwards for a given roll, we have to divide up the values among all possibilities. In case of the coin toss, since there were two possibilities, we had to divide the probability by 2. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2, which is equivalent to 0.5 or 50%. In case of dice, since there are 6 possibilities, we need to divide the probability by evenly between the 6 possibilities. 1 divided by 6 is 1/6, which is equivalent to 0.167 or 16.7%. And since for a dice, all 6 numbers have the same probability, each number should come up about as the others. More trials you get, the more closer your result will be get expected to the probabilities. Well, a trial which is also an experiment. It is a process that has a random outcome, like tossing a coin or rolling a dice or spinning a spinner. And the outcomes of a trial is what happens in that particular trial. Remember, the probability of flipping heads is 1/2. And the probability of rolling a trail is also 1/2. The probability of rolling a dice is 1/6. The probability of rolling any number of dice is also 1/6. If you add up all the probabilities for a coin flip, you get 2 by 2 or 1 or 100%. And if you add up the probabilities for rolling a dice, you get 6 by 6, which is also 1 or 100%. It means if you add up possibilities of all possible outcomes of a trial, the total is going to be 1 or 100% because it is certain that at least one of those possibilities will happen. Let's look at some more examples. For example, we will use a spinner. If we has a spinner with just 6 equally sized sectors, the probability would be exactly same as with dice. So we want few more sectors. There, that's more like it. Now we have the 10 equally sized sectors. So what is the probability of spinning a 8? Well, just with dice, where we have to split up the 100% between all 6 possibilities, we will do the same thing now, but we will split up between the 10 possibilities. So the probability of spinning a 8 is 1 by 10 or about 10%. Method of finding a probability of any event, you just make a fraction with numerator as the number of outcomes that satisfy your requirements and the denominator as the total number of the possible outcomes. Let's look at another example. Suppose we have a bag of marbles. There are 3 green marbles, 7 yellow marbles and 1 blue marble. As we mix them up and we pull out the marble at random, what is the probability of it being green? Well, the top number of our probability fraction will be 3 because they are the 3 green marbles. So there's 3 outcomes that get us what we want. And the bottom will be 11 because they are the 11 possible marbles that could pull out. So the probability of pulling out a green marble is 3 by 11 or 0.27 or 27%. Alright, so you should have a pretty good handle on a basic of probability. Now, as always, thanks for watching Study Point.